This is Gavin and Tansy reporting from our holiday in the Philippines.
Hello, 你好。
Okay, now we're working from our office here at the moment. As you can see, it's got a bit of a nice view in the background there. A little bit noisy with all the waves crashing and the birds singing.
这个呢，现在是我们的办公室。那正如你看见的，我们的办公室有点吵吧，有点声音，浪的声音比较大，对不对？还有鸟的声音。
Okay, so we're going to give you a bit of a summary of what we've been doing here in the Philippines. So, first of all, we've been traveling around here for 3 weeks now, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the places we've been.
我们已经来菲律宾3周了。那我们现在呢，要告诉大家一些就是我们之前3周做过的一些事情。
Okay, so for those of you that aren't sure, the Philippines are here, just to the southeast of China.
那我们是在中国的南边，可以看到地图。
And this is a map of the Philippines. There are thousands and thousands of islands, probably about 20 main large islands in the Philippines.
那这个就是菲律宾的地图这个菲律宾有很多很多的岛很多很多的热带岛。
Okay, now we've been to a few places in the Philippines. We started with Manila, the capital, for a couple of days.
那我们首先到的地方呢，就是首都马尼拉。
Okay, then we went down to an island called Siquijor in the southeast of the Philippines.
然后呢，我们到了南部的一个岛叫 Siquijor。
And we also visited Dumaguete City and a little place called Oslob here on the east of Cebu Island.
然后从 Siquijor 呢，我们去了 Dumaguete 的这个城市，然后又去了上面的那个岛，叫What's the name of the
Okay, then we went to Puerto Princesa on Palawan Island.
然后我们到了巴拉望岛的这个公主港。
And then up to where we are now in the beautiful area of El Nido, voted one of the best places on earth for holidays by many websites.
然后现在我们在 El Nido 这个地方是世界上公认的就是最漂亮的岛之一。
Okay, now Manila itself is a fairly boring city, so we won't talk too much about that. The traffic's terrible. You spend an hour in a taxi getting anywhere, and if you do go to the Philippines, don't really waste your time.
马尼拉呢，就是我们觉得很没有特别的地方这个地方是原来的一个古迹交通很不好，所以我们实际上不是特别推荐大家在那里久留。
Okay, then we went to Siquijor Island where we stayed in this cabin for a week.
Siquijor 呢，我们那个岛上很小，然后交通不是很发达，然后我们定在了这样的一个小的岛上的一个靠近悬崖边上的一个房子里。
Okay, and from here we got to watch many beautiful sunsets from our deck.
那从我们这个就是上面有一个平台上呢的风景就非常非常好了，因为是悬崖下面的大海，我们就每天可能会看一下日落特别漂亮。
Now Siquijor is famous for having lots of waterfalls and caves. We visited about 3 or 4 waterfalls.
Siquijor 它很著名的地方就是有很多很多的瀑布，那我们去了大概有很多的10几个瀑布。
As well as some beautiful snorkeling and scuba diving area. This is the place that I left to go scuba diving, where I was lucky enough to see a giant sea turtle, which was probably about 2 meters long. It was absolutely huge.
然后呢，它还很著名的地方是有很多很多漂亮浮潜的地方，而且水特别清。那Gavin 呢就在这个地方浮潜的时候看到了一个特别大的海龟，大概有2米多长，是很少见的。一般的情况下碰到的时候会很幸运。
Okay, we also visited this area, a beach in the east of Siquijor, where you can't actually go down this slide, but I jumped from here. And there's also some beautiful snorkeling. We spent a day lying on the beach there.
在东边，Siquijor东边的有一个海滩，水特别清，特别漂亮。然后在刚才他指的这个地方，它其实是可以有一个滑水到海里，就是滑梯到海里的这么一个活动，但是我们没有做。然后 Gavin 从上面的那个地方上，从很高的地方蹦到了海里，挺高的。
And then we went to visit some caves, which were amazing. It took us an hour to go in and out of this cave. And at some point you had to almost crawl to get through the holes.
它还有很多漂亮的这个自然形成的这个山洞，在图片上可以看得到。 然后呢，我们大概在洞里待了1个多小时，然后要很多地方都会是非常难爬的，然后我们要很矮的进去爬出来。
And a lot of the time, Tansy just likes to laze around having a nap in these beautiful restaurants that we visited for lunch.
很多时候呢，就像比如说我就会很懒洋洋的躺在这样的一个海边，沙滩，就是沙滩边上的小木屋里头，然后我们就可以看着海啊，然后喝着热带水果的这个果汁儿。
Then we visited a place called Oslo where we got to go swimming with whale sharks.
Oslo 这个地方呢，我们就跟鲸鲨一起游泳来着。
Now here's the back of Tansy's head there. As you can see, they're quite big. They get to up to 8 meters long, although I think the ones we were swimming with were probably only about 5 meters or 6 meters long.
鲸鲨特别大，特别长。那这个照片上看的实际上并不是很清楚。那我们就是在一个船上，然后呢就可以跟鲸鲨们一起游泳。这个有大概一般有8米多长，那我们看到的大概有5、6米长吧。
But you can see there how big they look under the water. If you didn't know what they were, you'd probably be very scared, but they only eat tiny little fish. They have a big mouth that swims through the water and just eats up lots of tiny fish.
鲸鲨呢，它是没有这个攻击性的啊，然后它就张开了很大的嘴，然后就吃那种很小的那种鱼。那在这个照片上来看的话，不是很清楚，因为我们在水下拍的。不过如果你要是不知道它们的话，你突然在海底浮潜的时候看见它们，你会被吓一跳的。但是它们没有伤害性。
The one problem with this is that it's over touristed and the locals don't really do a very good job of looking after the whale sharks. As you can see, there's about 20 or 30 boats out there and the whale sharks aren't in very good condition. They have lots of cuts on them and bruises. It really shows the importance of tourism. If you don't manage tourism well, it's not going to be good for the environment. If they keep doing this, those whale sharks will be gone in a few years.
在这里头呢，我们虽然过去看，但是发现了是有问题的，因为这个很多的船带着很多游客，就是在这个地方上，然后喂那个鲸鲨很多食物。实际上这样，我们觉得对于鲸鲨的保护来讲的话，并不是一件很好的事情，所以觉得在我们旅游的时候也要注意很多游客应该注意的问题，这样我们可以保护到自然，保护到动物，要不然以后我们可能都没有机会看到它们了。
Okay, from there we travelled to Puerto Princesa where we had a few day trips. The first day trip was actually to a nearby river where we went along on this riverboat before visiting a very old tree, which I've actually forgotten the name of, a Dao tree.
在公主港巴拉望这个岛上呢，我们从公主港出发呢，然后先去了这条河，这条河是会被汇到这个海里的。然后我们看了一个100年以上的一棵树，这棵树呢是岛上最久的一棵树，叫稻树。
And as you can see, the roots are really fat and wide, and you can actually crawl under the roots and even down through the holes between them, if you like spiders.
这棵树呢，就是特别高，它的根部特别的延伸到很多地方，然后实际上人是可以到这个树根底下的，然后也树上这个根中间也有洞，你也可以进去。如果你很喜欢蜘蛛的话。
Okay, now then we went down to a place called Rasa Island to try to see the endangered Philippines cockatoo. Now, 20 years ago, there were only about 23 of these birds left in the world that they knew about. And by hiring some former poachers, the people that used to catch these animals, to now look after them, they have increased the population to about 1,000.
在另外一个岛上呢，叫 Rasa 岛。这个岛著名的地方呢，它是有它就濒临灭绝的那个鸟，在菲律宾叫 cockatoo。20几年前只有23、24只的留下了，然后呢，但是有一个基金会呢，他就把这个原来捕猎的这几个人就是聚到一起之后呢，把他们变成了鸟的保护者。20多年过去了，现在整个国家有1000多只这样的鸟。
Oh no, it's so crowded. We had one person walk past the back of our video.
我们这儿人好多呀，然后有一个人走过去了，实际上是不多。
You can actually see this beach is practically our private beach. There's only about several people on the whole beach at the moment.
它总是反着说话，对吧？实际上这个岛现在非常的好，就是我们实际上这个岛就像我们的私人岛一样的，因为没有特别多的游客。
Now, the Philippines cockatoo is so rare that the trip we went with, we had to get up at 4:30 in the morning, get there by 5:30, and they say almost half the groups don't get to see this cockatoo. But as you can see from my photo, we saw about 50 of them in flight. Actually, they were on the trees, and just as we got closer, and I was about to take a photo, they all started flying, which I actually think makes a pretty good photo.
这个岛上的这个并不是对所有的游客开放的。实际上，这个岛现在还不欢迎游客的原因是什么呢？因为它是动物保护的一个区域然后呢人过来的时候要预定。那我们大概是在4点多钟起床，5点半到那儿的。然后有很多游客呢，就是我们的导游说，就是有很多游客呢，实际上到了那儿的时候会可能一只鸟都看不见。但是我们很幸运，一早上到了的时候，就在一棵树上发现了50-60只，它们一起这样飞。图片有点小，但是我们当时真的是很幸运，一下就发现了它们。
Okay, now I didn't get a very good photo because my camera is not the best, but I found a photo of the Philippines cockatoo up close on the internet, which you can see here.
因为之前的那个图片不清楚，所以 Gavin 到网上去找了一个就是很近的一个图片然后给大家看一下它的样子。
Okay, then we traveled by boat through the mangroves to this protected island where the Philippine cockatoo lives and breeds. And we had to walk along this walkway. We got to go up this tower where we get to see the Philippine cockatoo in the trees in the distance, as well as a local sea eagle.
所以从刚才那个地方呢，是这个它的这个岛外面的一个内陆地方，然后我们又跟着这个 mangrove 的那个那种树，在湿地上的那种树然后开着船，然后到了这个保护区的这个岛上，我们要走这个他们是新建的，今年基金会筹的基金要走上去，然后前面还有一个小棚，那个小棚就是观鸟的棚，要爬到大概有2-3米高的地方上去才能上去。
Okay, and the people that looked after them, here are 4 of the former poachers who are now wardens looking after the cockatoos.
这张照片呢，实际上这个岛上有5位这个保护者，他们今天轮岗工作，所以呢，另外一个人休息，我们就见到了4位。这4位他们就是又干什么呢？就是在岛上去找到鸟，然后去保护它们。实际上他们原来就是捕猎者，现在就是鸟的保护者。
Okay, they also have nearby in the office a sanctuary for some other endangered species, including the Palawan river turtle, which is also critically endangered, and the Philippines porcupine.
然后在这个岛上结束之后，我们去了它的这个基金会的这个濒临灭绝的动物保护区，去了另外一个地方是他们的办公室。然后这个乌龟和这个像菲律宾的这种刺猬一样，也都是快濒临灭绝的动物。
Now, after this, the next day, we went up to a place called Honda Bay where we went snorkeling. There you can see Tansy having a swim, and Tansy is now very, very good at snorkeling.
第2天之后，我们去了另外一个港湾叫 Honda， 就是不是车的那个 Honda， 但是它叫 Honda Bay。我呢现在因为几乎1周可能大概要做2次浮潜，所以我现在已经在水里更舒服了。这是我的一张水下的照片。
And this is the kind of boat we traveled on.
这种就是当地的这种游船了然后有2边的这种来保持平衡的一个架子。
And this is one of the islands we stopped at where you can jump off that board, which I did, but that was such a small one, it wasn't nearly as exciting as the other island.
在这个公主港旁边这种每天可以去游玩的地方里面有一个行程，就是在每一个岛上都可以去停留一下的这么一个行程，这是其中一个岛。然后这个岛呢就有一个就是这种蹦下去的这种Gavin 你觉得这个还是太矮了。
Now, throughout the island, we went snorkeling many, many, many times in the Philippines, and from this picture we saw probably about half of the fish in this picture.
在菲律宾这些岛的地方有很多种类的热带鱼， 那我们找到这样一个照片，然后每天我们都在看，说我们在每一个不同的岛上都看到了哪一些不同样子的热带鱼。那在这个表上，我们已经有一半都看到过了。
The first thing is, can you find Nemo?
你可以找到那个尼莫吗？
Yes, because we saw Nemo many, many times.
因为我们看到了尼莫很多次哈。
We also saw the Clark's anemone fish, or the Clark fish.
还有这种 Clark 鱼。
Many angel fish. There are many, many different colors.
还有很多天使鱼。
Lots of butterfly fish, moorish idols, and banner fish. We saw these all the time.
所以下面还有很多哈，它是按一类家族这样排的，所以它一个家族里面有好几种不同的样子，所以我们就是每天都会看一看这个表，我们就看到了不同的鱼。
But one of the most common fish we saw was the sergeant major fish. They were everywhere.
这种是最普通的。
And the biggest was probably the batfish, the long-fished batfish, which was probably, well, twice the size of my head.
那有一种就是bat鱼，它就是它是比较大的，那可能刚才Gavin说的有2个它头那么大。
Okay, then we have traveled to El Nido, which is where we are now.
El Nido 就是现在我们所在的地方了。
Now, this is the beach we're sitting on right now. In fact, we are sitting in the chairs right here.
这个沙滩就是我们现在所在的位置，我们就在这个它这个叫Leo沙滩，我们就在旁边Leo旁边的那个标记旁边。
Okay, and this is what it looks like in the evening. It's a beautiful area with only about 4 small hotels, about 8 restaurants, and probably only a couple of hundred people in the area.
这个岛应该是新开发没有多久的岛，然后就几家这个酒店，然后呢，这个是晚上的一个照片。然后可能也就现在几百人就在这个岛上吧。
And one Chinese restaurant.
还有一个中餐馆。
Okay. In this area, there's a lot of restaurants right on the water. This is in the center of town, the El Nido town and El Nido beach, not where we're staying, where we had some beautiful food right next to the water.
这是另外一个沙滩了，这个实际上是那个船出发的那个中心，也就是这个 El Nido 的市中心了。那这个地方就有很多这种小街道，然后有很多不同国家的餐馆，然后可以都很好吃的那个餐馆。
And this is when we went island hopping yesterday, and which we'll probably do again tomorrow. This beach here, you see that water? It's not actually that clean inside, but it looks so beautiful. In fact, we went to many better places with the water than this. But sometimes, because just the water's shallow and the sun's there, it looks so beautiful. Much clearer than way high, but that's mostly because of the temperature.
这个照片呢，就是我们其中的这个每一个岛都要去的那个行程，那个叫一个叫 A 计划这是其中的第一张照片。但是这张照片上显示的水的颜色并不是好像不是特别清楚哈但是大多数的地方的海水都非常的蓝，有蓝有绿，不同的颜色。
And this is all the islands have these big limestone cliffs right coming up to the water next to the beaches, which look beautiful when you sail past.
这个也是昨天的另外一个地方了，就是不同的岛，去不同的岛的时候，这是其中一个岛，所以这个照片上就能看出来水就是特别清楚，然后这个山都是特别陡的这种石壁。
Okay, we went kayaking in a place called Small Lagoon, which was a really, really beautiful area where you had to go through a small hole to get into.
在这个行程，这个岛上的这个特色就是你要坐着这个小船开亚船，然后你滑进去一个小石，它就是从一个小石洞的那个地方上开进去之后，你就会看到就是一个周围都是山包围的这么一个海域。然后在里面游一圈特别漂亮。
And on the boat, we had an amazing seafood lunch with crabs, prawns, fish, salad, and lots of fruit.
这个 A 计划里面呢，它是不同的岛屿之间的这种游玩，然后中午的时候呢，它会提供这个午饭，当地的这个就是船上的导游和这个就是师傅们。他们提供的，然后他们实际上是在船上，就是早晨的时候就开始做烧烤了，所以有很多鱼、螃蟹、虾，还有这个烤肉，特别好吃。
And that's pretty much all for now. I could show you many more photos, but we've already taken too long. I certainly need to trim my beard before I come back to work in Weihai for the summer.
所以呢，到现在呢，实际上我们也拍了很多很多的照片。如果我们回去的时候，实际上如果你喜欢的话，我们可以再继续放一些照片。然后他看着自己摄像头里的自己说，他在冬天回去之前一定要修一修胡子，这样会看起来更好看一些。
Okay, if you have any questions, message her. She can answer them, so I can enjoy my holiday.
如果你有问题的话，可以给我留言，然后这样的话 Gavin 就可以享受他的沙滩了。
Okay, bye bye.
OK， 拜拜。You want to watch it?
We have to watch it.